All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second episode for The Walking Dead Season 10. This one is called We Are the End of the World. We'll be doing our video predictions. Alright, and possible spoiler warning if you are not caught up yet for The Walking Dead, which is up to The Walking Dead Season 10's premiere. Okay, so we're getting ready for the second episode, which is coming up this Sunday, of course, on AMC for this new season. Really excited for it, right? We've got the first 8 half, and then the break, and then the second 8 half for The Walking Dead Season 10, and then, of course, there'll be the additional new spin-off series, Walking Dead Universe, and then after that, eventually, we'll see the return of Fear later this summer. So, really, a lot of great stuff lined up. Can't wait to see it all kind of play through. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of these different episodes for these different Walking Dead series. It's kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's good because it's better than nothing, and, a lot of other series have ended at this point. 10 years, 10 seasons is a lot of episodes, right? Especially at 16 episodes a year. It's awesome. So I'm actually glad at this point that AMC actually did get the license for Walking Dead originally, and we're getting to see all this different content. Really great stuff. Really great, really fun stuff. So if you guys didn't see, I did my review for the premiere episode. Some people were having trouble finding it. It's because I did it on Thursday last week, and I've done some other episodes since then. There was the Maggie reveal that she's going to be coming back. Done some other fun stuff and, lots of different videos. But the full review for the premiere episode is in the channel. It's over 20 minutes long, and we go in a lot of detail on that one, and it's a lot of fun. And so if you haven't seen my review yet, I'll have it in the end-screen video. So this one, you can watch it after you're done watching this one. Okay, so video predictions, maybe we'll do a preview pictures tomorrow or something like that for this episode coming up, because there's some really good pictures for this one. And it does look like it's going to be a different type of episode. This one looks like it's actually going to be All Out Whispers, All Out Whispers episode, or an episode that focuses, basically on the Whispers and not really on our usual survivors. So that is a bit different to see in the second episode of a season, where you see an entire episode just, focused on the villain group. But the Whisperers are a very interesting group, I think. And this one looks like we're going to get to see their origin, because there is some pictures that show Alpha with Lydia when she was younger, possibly Alpha meeting Beta for the first time, which, again, we can get into some of these pictures tomorrow and kind of give our thoughts on that. They don't show it too much in the trailer, and I'll put the link to the trailer in the description below for episode 2, We Are the End of the World, where it says, the description is, the origins of Alpha and Beta are revealed, so likely a flashback portion of this episode of showing how the Whispers were formed, how they were kind of built up. It says Alpha attempts to toughen up Lydia, most likely in the flashbacks, because of course Lydia is now with the survivors in Alexandria, and Alpha and Beta and the others are in, different spot wherever they happen to be. I guess Alpha would be near the quarry, or wherever she locked eyes with Carol at, right, that spot. And, so they're not together at this time, so it must be, at least a good portion of the episode of flashback. As they prepare to walk with the dead, the Whispers create their herds. So, it sounds like maybe either half of a flashback episode and half of a current episode, to see where they've kind of been during the kind of time skip that started after the Pike scene, when the Whispers sort of left during the wintertime and all that. And we get the sense that the Whispers are nomadic. They sort of travel around with their herds in order to find maybe food and supplies and things like this. And they're kind of, in a way, sort of protected by their herds. So I think the Whisperers are an interesting group, because they're one that, in all the years that the survivors have been alive in The Walking Dead, if it's 10 years, 11 years, whatever the timeline is exactly is at this time, it's possible the Whisperers could have been in and around there, most of the way through, and they would never have noticed, because if you see a herd coming through, the last thing you're going to do is try to get its attention. You're going to try to maybe steer it in a different way. You're going to try to avoid it. You're going to try to not start trouble with it or not have anything to do with it, right? You're try to stay away from it as far as you can, right, in order to survive, and so it doesn't follow you back to your group or something. So the only time, pretty much, if the Whisperers are there that you would know it is if they're either mad at you and they want to go after you, they see you as someone they want to attack or something like this. Otherwise, for the most part, they could be in and around and you wouldn't even know it because they camouflage and blend in with the dead very, very well. So I'm excited to see the second episode and see how things kind of shape up and we sort of get to an understanding of what Lydia's life was like, sort of getting started in the zombie apocalypse with Alpha, getting to see Alpha meet Beta for the first time, and then as it says here, getting to see them create their herds, so maybe joining different herds together, walking with the dead. We get our first look at Gamma, who is another Whisperer as well too, which may be kind of a Thora Birch plays her. She was in American Beauty, so maybe we'll get to see some of that, and another kind of spotlight character for the Whisperers. In the trailer, their kind of home base looks pretty cool. You got like all these, trees kind of bent over and it's sort of like, so unnatural, kind of shape and things like this for where they are. And there was, I think, in one of the trailers for the season leading up, them singing "We Are the End of the World," where you have Beta and Alpha kind of singing to each other. So that's kind of fun. And at the end of this preview trailer, she kind of asks him if he's questioning her, this kind of thing, and he says never. Right? She is the Alpha, so he listens to her. In the comics, there was sort of this angle where the reason why Beta doesn't just take over the Whisperers is because he kind of secretly harbors feelings for Alpha, so he sort of secretly kind of loves her, and so he doesn't just kill her and take over the place because he actually really cares about her and everything. So that's why he protects her with to the very end, and he follows her and he doesn't question her and he doesn't he's very loyal to her. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we'll see some of that in this episode. Maybe we won't. But if you're expecting to see Daryl, Michonne, Carol, and the others in this episode, it doesn't look like they're going to be in it, so it doesn't look likely, so heads up for that. So if you don't like the Whisperers, maybe you skip episode 2 is really what I'm saying. So it looks like an enjoyable one for me personally, because I like to get to see good villain origins and kind of how they develop the Whisperers. I'm interested because I think that they've just got a really cool kind of way of life and a really cool way of surviving in the zombie apocalypse. I always wished we could have seen like a Negan flashback episode where we got to see a whole episode of how Negan started the Saviors and how that came to be and the whole kind of thing. In the comics, they did a Here's Negan for that, and it looks like we're going to get to see that now in this episode with the Whisperers. Unfortunately, we never saw it with the Saviors, and we probably never will at this point. But I personally like to see stuff like that. I think it's really cool to get to see the other side of things and how, people can kind of go from maybe being a good person in regular life or a so-so person to, in a zombie apocalypse like this, to becoming these brutal, vicious killers like the Whisperers are, right? So so it looks good. And it looks like fun. I'm looking forward to it. And let me know if you guys want to do a preview picture so we go through all the pictures tomorrow. But that's the gist of what it looks like, is we're going to see a Whisperer-centric episode. So it looks like a pretty good one. I'm excited for it. And, can't wait to see another episode of Walking Dead, man. And also happy that now we're going to be mostly on the same page. Like, because of premiere and it releasing that premiere a week early, it was just weird because everybody was like, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, I have. Oh, Trev, why'd you do it so early? Oh, thank you for doing it early. You just get this different, like, everyone's all over the place with premiere, and it's just like there's no consensus. Some people are upset that some watched it early and they want to watch it, and so, but it works for AMC, so they got to do it. But it's going to be nice for most of us to be on the same page again and to do the reviews weekly on Sunday nights with you guys, so everybody is kind of going through it mostly within the same time frame. I'm not sure if they get it like a couple days earlier or something like they do for Fear. I would think so, something like that. So let's go through a few of your guys' kind of Q&A questions for today. We might as well, because it's not, usually I do these prediction videos on like Sunday nights, but because of premiere, we might do it today, so we might as well make it like a Q&A type of deal. Paul Toomey said, hey Trev, Walking Dead Canada, what would that look like? So talking about different locations for possible Walking Dead stories, that's something you're never going to see. There's not enough people here for them to want to do that. The population of Canada is like, it's kind of pitiful considering how much land there is here. So if you want to buy some land, Canada's not a bad place to move, guys. There's lots of land here, so it's not that expensive either. You can get it for a pretty good price. Although there's places in the States you can get a lot of land as well too, if that's what you want. But they would never do it. There's no pull. So with the new series also being in the United States, it's like, yeah, they're probably going to do most of them in the U.S. I still want to see UK. That's the one that I've been kind of campaigning for many years now. We'll probably never see that either because, I don't know. But I think there's a lot of zombie fans in the UK, so it wouldn't be too bad. There's lots of other places you could do as well, too. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I'm pretty safe to say we'll probably never see Walking Dead Canada and a bunch of people, running around with hockey sticks killing zombies, right? Matthew Stewart says, I'm already annoyed by these kids in the new series trailer. So he's already annoyed by the kids. I like the Karate Kid, the kid who looks like the Karate Kid who's teaching karate. That's going to be my nickname for him, is the Karate Kid. I can't even remember his name right now. I'm sure I read it in the casting video where we went through the new castings for the new series, Walking Dead Universe, if that's what's called, Monarch or whatever. I'm just going to call the one kid the Karate Kid. The others, I don't care. The pukey girl, I don't know. Daddy's girl, the pukes on a zombie's kind of like, I don't know, it's okay. But Matt's already pissed off. He's already annoyed. He hasn't even seen the premiere episode yet. So it's just how it's going to go, man. I bet you this new series is going to get trolled even worse than Fear. Some people were saying, they're like, oh, this premiere episode looks worse than the Fear premiere did. And that's probably true. The Fear premiere actually did look really good when it first started, right? It was good when it first started. The first few seasons of Fear were really good. I thought they were really good. And still, to a degree, some episodes of Fear are still good. They're not all that good, and whatever. Anyway, won't get into that. But you guys know we've talked enough about that, so let's not get into that. But he's already annoyed by the kids, and we haven't even seen the first episode of the the new series yet. Jayr says the new series should have started with a young girl named Clementine. So that's true. Most of the comments, I guess, about the new series, because something new to talk about. So that's cool. So I think you're right, Jay. Man, that would have been really good for fans of the video game series. Maybe they don't want to do it because there could be licenses and stuff like that make it more kind of difficult to do, because I think does Skybound own the game now, or did they buy it from Telltale? How did that go? Are there legal stuff involved? So there might be some hoops to jump through if you wanted to bring Clementine into the Walking Dead properties, but I think it'd be worth it to do. However, you've got to get someone who's dependable, get him to sign for a long time. If you want to do a Clementine character for the TV series version, I think it's a great idea. And the new series would be perfect for that, to bring in Clementine, right? A young girl. She was in the video games. She was one of the leads for the video games. Sort of like a female young Carl type of character, something like that. Got a baseball cap on and everything like that. So that would be cool if they could do that. And the new series would, her age and stuff could be close to the new series. It could be just perfect. Maybe you do a teenager instead of, very young girl. But, it'd be a bit tricky for them to work out getting probably the rights to the character because it's a video game character and not a comic character. But still, I think it'd be worth it. It'd be really a good idea for them to do that. For fans of the video game, because that was a big, you guys got to understand, when the Walking Dead game first came out from Telltale, it was winning all kinds of awards. It was a really highly downloaded game. It did really great. And so, that's a license that has a lot of fans, and it's over now. It's ended, but it would be cool to see them do some kind of Easter eggs and tie-ins for that, because, it's just, it's got its own fan base, which is cool. I never really got into it too much, but I know some of you guys are huge fans of the video games, and to see a TV series version of Clementine would be awesome. Hopefully, eventually they'll do it. You kind of think like eventually they'll do it, right? Eventually they should do it. Tat24 says, it just looks like some teen drama with zombies. They could have literally done anything, and this was the best they could do. So it's, I think the purpose of it is because it's another community that's going to be connected with the Commonwealth, or the CRM, people are calling it, whatever, I don't know. We'll see what they actually call it in the universe itself when we hear it referred to as. But the CRM, the Commonwealth, a group with the Boromine Rings, which is different communities, kind of a part of a greater kind of, connection. So with this, new group in the new series, it's going to be one of those rings. It's going to be part of a greater group, which connects the different ones so far as we know. So that's how it connects to the others, and that's why we're following that one. So I think that could be okay. And who knows, we could even see them maybe in the movies or something like this, or we could see them meet, some of the others. They could do crossover stuff between the different shows. That's pretty brilliant to do something like that. I think is pretty smart. Who knows? They could meet the Fear Group or something. I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do in the future. But it's not a bad idea. I just kind of like to see something totally different for Walking Dead if they're going to do another show. Like if they ever want to do an additional show, do something completely different country, different set of circumstances, different time zone, like just totally different. Would be kind of cool to see something completely over new, to start or something. Or if they have to eventually reboot The Walking Dead and do like an animated version or something, that could be cool too. DG says, you've just watched Alll Out War. Now watch it again with less interesting characters and less powerful weaponry for the Whisper War, right? So he's saying, I don't know, man. I think the Whispers are really cool. I understand, like, it's many more years later, so we don't have all the guns firing off. It's kind of more medieval. But that worked really well for Game of Thrones. I mean, you want to talk about kind of that kind of like hand-to-hand, sword fighting and this kind of thing. I just think there's something about that that's very, fearsome. It's very, intriguing. I think it's very exciting, that they don't all have, if they had the guns, it'd be, it wouldn't be as exciting. There's something about a sword fight or, something like this that's just kind of really exciting in a different kind of way. So I think the Whisperers are really cool, man. They're basically like your Halloween nightmare come to fruition in the zombie apocalypse 100%. And they also make so much sense. Like, what an easy way to survive the zombie apocalypse. You just get yourself a skin, you wear a bunch of dirty clothing, and you're set. All you got to worry about is other survivors. You don't even have to worry about the walkers anymore. You can go in and amongst them. You can live with them as long as they don't realize you're not one of them. They can actually protect you. I mean, it's such an interesting strategy. I think it's really cool. So, personally, I don't think there's a whole lot of similarities between them and the Saviors. I mean, there's a big difference there in terms of how their philosophy and everything is completely different. So, yes, there'll be likely a war of some kind, but I don't think it's really going to remind us very much of Alll Out War like that. I don't think so. Last one, iNomadCamp said, who asked for a teen dramedy in the Walking Dead universe? So I don't think anybody asked for it, but they're trying to create, I think, a new audience. As we've said a few times here, it seems to me they're trying to create a younger audience because they know, just like I know, that the Walking Dead audience is getting older. So they're trying to get new fans that are younger into the series and have that as an option for them, so they can that could be their favorite show that they could relate to more, and they could still be a part of the Walking Dead, kind of fandom, right? So that's the idea. Anyway, if you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. Leave your comments below. What do you think about the new series? I did a review for the trailer. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen the trailer for that, check it out. It's on the channel. You can watch that. My review for it and the trailer is linked in the description. And of course, second episode of Walking Dead Season 10 coming right up. Lots of awesome stuff going on. Got lots more videos coming for you guys. As usual, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.